Hello everybody, welcome to the God of War Prelude playthrough. And I say prelude because this is the one video I'm going to be talking about for like 7 minutes. I'm going to cut off, I'm going to start the main playthrough. The reason why I was going back and forth because sometimes the sound doesn't appear automatically, so I have to make sure the sound was coming in from the game before I talked. But boy oh boy, it is finally here. You know, I'm a huge fan of God of War. I've been a big fan of God of War since 2004 when David Jaffe was on the helm and he first had the idea of making a game about Greek mythology and taking some aspects of Devil May Cry, and then we came out with God of War. And I'm a huge Greek mythology fan. I've always liked the Greek mythology mythos. Or maybe that's a double oh wait, is that double negative? Because mythology and mythos are kind of similar. But I like the Greek mythology world and the stories because I've always read stuff about Greek mythology. In school they'd always talk about Greek mythology and I've always enjoyed that. But now, and after 2004, you had 2007 release of God of War 2, which Cory Barlog, the man who is the director for this game, came out, and God of War 2 was arguably the best PS2 game ever back in 2007. It was pretty much the final PlayStation 2 game that came out before the PlayStation 3 started being pushed further after that. Shoot over to 12 years. No, I'm sorry, I take it back. Shoot over 11 years from now. There was God of War 3, which was it David Asmussen, I think, took over for God of War 3 as a director. And then was God of War Ascension. I don't know who directed God of War Ascension. It might have been Cory Barlog again. But 5 years, okay, Cory Barlog, for what I looked online, put his blood, sweat, and tears and took so many risks in making this game for what it is. It's going to be the journey between Kratos and his second attempt at being having a family and being a father. In this case, being Atreus, as you can see here. And the whole culmination of this playthrough is going to be, can Kratos turn Atreus into a god? Because technically speaking, Atreus is the son of a god. I don't think Kratos has immortality anymore. I think when he impaled himself in God of War 3 with the Blade of Olympus, which I probably will go back to play God of War 1, 2, and 3 again, and probably Ascension at some point on my YouTube channel. He pretty much impaled himself with the Blade of Olympus, and the only time we've ever seen Kratos retain his scars and not have rapid healing was when he's been touched with, or he's been attacked or touched by anything with godly powers. So that scar in his right eye, that was done by Ares. And when you look at the scar in his chest, you could barely see from that clip of that image, that was done by the Blade of Olympus. So, and afterwards, you know, this is what ended up happening. So Cory Barlog took a lot of risks, and when I saw his video early on today with him crying when looking at the reviews after the embargo was lifted, dude, the Metacritic score, I have not seen any, I have not read any reviews, but the Metacritic score is the highest it has ever been for any PlayStation game ever, which is 95 currently. It's only going to go up to 96 or possibly 97. This game could hit levels, I don't want to say close, but it could almost hit 97 score, which I think the only game that got 97 on the PlayStation thing was, I think, God of War 2? I don't know if God of War 3 hit that, but no other PlayStation game has ever hit 97. Well, maybe Uncharted 2, I take that back. Maybe Uncharted 2 on PlayStation 3 got it. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be an amazing game, and I hope it's an amazing game, because people kept talking about how the storyline's as deep as The Last of Us, and the gameplay is fresh, but it still retains God of War style. So, I just want to let you guys know right now, this is the prelude video. As you guys may have already checked on my YouTube channel, Watch Dogs DLC is now complete, and also the videos I've recorded up until this point, part 55 of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, is now completely uploaded. Watch Dogs 1 as of now is complete. I have started Watch Dogs 2 2 and 3 months ago. I have to actually upload it. I only have 20 videos, or no, I have 16 videos, I think. So I'll start uploading those, and I'll start playing the game more now that I finished with Watch Dogs. Dishonored is now the main campaign is complete. I can go back and do some of the DLC on Dishonored. And Far Cry 4 is actually at endgame. I have like maybe 4 hours, maybe 3, maybe 4 hours, but Story-wise, I have roughly 2 hours left, I think. Maybe 1.5, 2 hours left of the storyline for Far Cry 4. After that, that's pretty much it. If I do all the outposts, all the towers, I'll finish all the other side missions that pop up, and then do the main story. I'm thinking like at least 2 sit-downs for like 2.5 hours each. I'm thinking. I could be wrong though, but pretty much Far Cry 4 is at its end game, and I'm pretty much near completion on that. So the main playthrough I'm going to be doing for the next couple of weeks is going to be God of War, and maybe I'll finish it by then. So anyway, guys, stay tuned. Keep following my YouTube channel if you haven't. Please do me a favor, guys, and if you haven't checked out my other videos, you can check it out. I made a couple mistakes on the Grand Theft Auto San Andreas playthrough. The audio levels was way too high. I didn't notice that at first, and I made a mistake on 10 videos that didn't have game audio sound, but had my mic audio sound, which that whole playthrough has been a cluster mess, honestly. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna wrap up this prelude, whatever. I just want to talk about one thing specifically before we go. I actually bought the digital deluxe edition, which means I actually have 5 different add-ons installed. I have the Death's Vow armor set, which supposedly increases your damage dealt, whatever. The Exiled Guardian, I think that's another shield, maybe? The Dokken Shielder, and I guess it's supposed to be Shielder, and that's the Shining Elven Stout Shield. And the Buckler of 4. Okay, so maybe the Exiled Guardian's another armor set for Atreus. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and these are the shields. And I also I got different avatars. It's not really a big deal, but yeah, I ended up picking this up. I was thinking about getting Dark Souls Remastered, but after the disgusting information that we've learned this past 2 weeks about Dark Souls Remastered, I called an audible and said, screw it. I'll get Dark Souls Remastered when it's like 20, maybe less, and in the future. Because quite frankly, I already played Dark Souls 1, excuse me, and they didn't do enough PvE exchanges like Scholar of the First Sin where I want to play it right now. This game has been getting so much attention. So guys, thank you much for watching this prelude. We're gonna jump right in and let's get started. Oh, one more I'll actually talk about that in the next video. But anyway, let's jump right in.